Good afternoon, everybody. All right, good Sunday morning. How's everyone doing?
Good. How's it going?
All right, we're back with another episode of NBR, the Nosebleeds Reports. Before the show, I was having a little bit of technical difficulty, so for some reason I drop off. I'm sure you guys can take care of it. I've been teasing about this big news. So as everyone knows that the money that comes in through this podcast and also my other podcast, the Scuttlebutt podcast, which is doing some great things. I just interviewed Lieutenant Colonel Scheller, and that's going live not tonight, but next Sunday. I highly recommend you guys watch that. It was a great episode. And for those who don't know who Lieutenant Colonel Scheller is, he's the one that spoke out against the Biden administration when America pulled out of Kabul, Afghanistan, and 186 people were murdered that day because of suicide bomber. 13 of them were American soldiers, sailors. So he has some very interesting insight. But so what happened was I turned both of these podcasts, fund a nonprofit with it. The nonprofit has been moving pretty slow. Obviously, it hasn't even been live for a year yet. But what the goal with the nonprofit is to send veterans and first responders to sporting events. Well, I was in contact with the Detroit Lions. My son Jason and we went to the Thanksgiving Day game, and we had so much fun. I was like, man, this would be great to send people here. So I contacted Detroit Lions, and I purchased 2 club seats for the entire season for next year. So
nice.
Paulie here, me and Paulie served together back in the mid 80s. So I already gave up the Chicago Bears tickets to him. So I gave him first dibs on the Bears tickets. So if you're a veteran or first responder in Detroit, man, we will probably be looking you up. But with that said, it was very expensive. So I want to point out that I think there's a link in the show description for my Linktree. If you would like to help out, you can make a one-time donation through PayPal. You can sign up for a monthly subscription called Patreon, patreon.com/thenosebleedsreport, as I believe is our site. Every penny of them that comes in will go to sending a veteran or first responder to a sporting event. So that's the big reveal, man. I'm pretty excited about it.
Exciting stuff, Lee. Way to go. Way to go, guys.
Nicely done, sir.
Yeah. A lot of people are like, well, why are you doing Detroit? You live in Tennessee. Well, I feel like, I grew up in Dearborn, Michigan, which borders Detroit. So I feel Detroit will always be my home. I have mad love for the Detroit Lions. I don't know if you can tell behind me, but my whole room is painted Honolulu blue and silver. As a matter of fact, I got this young man's autograph right here. He's making his NFL debut today in Detroit.
Is that the Bama kid? The Bama kid?
Bama kid's finally suiting up. He's going to play today.
All right, go Lions, go Lions.
I just felt that I wanted to bless my hometown, so that's what we're going to do. We have so there's 17 games now, so I'm not really sure how many home games there's going to be. There's either going to be, it's an off number now, so at least 8 weekends.
Yeah, either 8 or 9.
Yeah, either 8 or 9. I'm not sure how it's going to roll, but it'll be big.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
So, with those tickets, I got to talk to my buddy Jim Blaze, the Iron Man guy.
Yeah.
The infamous Iron Man. I got to talk to him about the Bears-Detroit game. But with the club seats, do I get turkey legs with that?
So, funny thing is, if you want a turkey leg, you better hit the concessions early, because when Jason and I were there, and this was at the beginning of the game, they were already out of turkey legs.
What? How can you be out of turkey legs?
It was maybe the second quarter. They're already out.
It was early. We're like, damn.
John Madden.
Well, who's going to sit there and eat a big-ass turkey leg when they're watching a football game? That ain't for me.
So John Madden was probably rolling around in his grave when that happened.
Yep.
The great John Madden, rest in peace.
Famous John Madden. He started the old, I think it was the turducken, right?
Yeah, the turducken, yep. Rest in peace, John, Mr. Madden.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that's some awesome news, and if you want to help out, and also we will be, we got some swag going on for people that, if you want to throw a few bucks, you get your name into a drawing for some swag. We have some of this going on. We got I can do some hoodies, and got Paul with the all cap behind him. He's afraid to wear in the house.
I do it for the sake of everybody else, so the light off of my head doesn't blind people.
Right.
So yes, I will drop the Patreon in the chat. I will do that during Paulie's rant, because I got too many things going on at one time.
Well.
Oh, I got a good one today. I'm ready to go when you are.
Yeah. So let's talk college football first. So there's some big old upsets over the weekend, and I'm going to share my screen here real quick. Got a little bit video to show y'all. Let's see. Don't worry, I'm on top of things today.
First and foremost, on behalf of the Big Ten and everyone here tonight, we want to extend our gratitude and thanks to Discover Financial Services and Jennifer Murillo, Chief Marketing Officer at Discover Financial Services. Thank you so much for putting on a great event, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Now to hand out the championship trophy, the Commissioner of the Big Ten, Kevin Warren.
First, I'd like to congratulate Purdue University on a great game, but we're here for second year in a row, to hand out the Big Ten trophy to head coach Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines.
It's actually a great idea, Scott.
What did Scott say?
He said it should
Coach Harbaugh
be called Paulie's Pulpit. After all, it is Sunday.
It sounds good. All credit goes to these men up here who talked about it's not a grim mission. It's been a happy mission. But more than that, it's been a godly mission. And we thank our Lord and Savior.
Coach, I've been around this team now for a number of years covering you guys. We called 6 of your games this year, and I can tell you that there is an uncommon bond and chemistry amongst these men on this team. Where does that come from?
It really comes from them. A lot of people talk about culture, but it's beyond culture. It's a brotherhood amongst the staff, amongst the players, and again, that's what it is. I mean, it's love. It's love about been perseverance. It's been great love, and We're happy to be back-to-back champs. Ronnie Bell, get in here, Ronnie. We gotta talk to Ronnie.
Coach, you had a couple of guys have incredible performances tonight.
Yeah, Ronnie.
One of them was Ronnie. Ronnie, I'm going to get you. Coach, thank you. Congratulations. Ronnie, you guys have persevered. You yourself had persevered. You had that knee injury a year ago.
Yes, sir.
You come back here, and now you and your teammates have done something that no other Michigan team has done. You're 13-0.
Yes, sir.
Tell me how you feel.
It's just a blessing, man. This team is battle tested, and these guys, man, from everybody in the program, everybody in the building, everybody's worked so hard, and to see it all coming full circle like this is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful blessing.
Congratulations, bud.
Thank you so much.
Now I want to bring up to present the Grange Griffin MVP trophy, the trophy's namesake, and the only two-time Heisman winner in the history of the Heisman Trophy, Archie Griffin. Archie. And tonight's MVP of the 2022 Big Ten Championship game is Donovan Edwards.
My man, appreciate it.
Donovan, you and your teammates, you watched one of your own go down against Illinois. Real key piece of this team, one of your leaders, your teammate, your running back mate, Blake Corum. Ever since then, you've stepped up. Over 200 yards last week against the Buckeyes, over 180 yards tonight in the championship game. Tell me what it means to you to step up and do what you've done in the absence of Blake Corum.
First and foremost, I couldn't do this without my Lord and Savior. You know, I'm blessed to be able to do this in the name of the Lord and praise his name after this big time game that we just played. We back-to-back champions. Shout out to Blake Corum. Blake Corum is the best running back in college football. He deservedly needs the Heisman. If he didn't get hurt, he would have easily won the Heisman. So shout out to Blake Corum. This for you, baby.
All right. So, I'm not a huge Michigan fan. I'm from Michigan. I'm a Michigan State guy. I used to be a Michigan fan until my daughter went to school. But I just want to give a shout out to that kid because Corum was like the stud running back of the nation. He goes out, and then this kid steps up and goes back to back with huge games. And then he receives the MVP of the championship game, the Big Ten championship game. And then all he does is talk about how good Corum is. Man, my hat's off to that young man.
I think that's a great statement right there. Davenport, he does fill in for Blake Corum, and two classy athletes. Blake Corum last week was every time Davenport came off the field, he was congratulatory towards them, and now it's reciprocated by Davenport. I mean, very classy young men and athletes. So good for both of them.
Yeah, for sure. That was pretty awesome. So I think, like, sticking with college football, the Georgia LSU game. So LSU scores 30 points, but gets boat raced. If I would have told you
Yeah.
you're going to score 30 points in a championship game, you'd be super excited about that. So Georgia hung 50 on them. But what I found interesting is, like, they were already up, 27 points. Georgia scores a touchdown, and they go for 2 in a blowout game. To me, that's kind of BS. That's a BS move, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that'll come back around at some point, someday when they play each other again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can get it if it's a 2-possession game and you're going for a third, but
yeah, no need for that. But hey, they did it. It's on record, and when they rematch each other, it'll be a point.
Yeah, they're gonna the karma is a real thing in football, man. That was
I
just wasn't classy at all.
I watched the TCU game yesterday against Kansas State,
was a good game.
and yeah, it was a very good game. It went into
Mhm.
overtime, and TCU's had a Cinderella season. I mean, undefeated up until yesterday. They had to play an extra game for the championship, so they lost the game. I don't think they should be punished, though, for consideration into the college football playoff picture, because what they did this year is impressive. Their strength of schedule, it was pretty good. It wasn't as hard as probably like Alabama's, which was
Tennessee.
or Tennessee, right? Because
Mhm.
Bama played like top 10 teams throughout the year, and Tennessee, their strength of schedule was ridiculous until they lost against the Gamecocks. They really blew their chances there. But I think TCU is still in the running for the top 4 spots, and I'll get to more of that in a minute here.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a close call. I don't know. They did not have a very good schedule, so they played 2 top 10 teams, and it was the same team, and then Texas.
So there's going to be a lot of outcry if Alabama squeaks into the top 4, and I'm not saying that they don't deserve it. I'm just saying a two-loss team jumping these teams that only have 1 loss. That's gonna. It's the NCAA they put themselves in backed themselves in a corner with this 4-team playoff, I think.
Yeah, it's tough, but they asked for it, and then it's going to be even harder when they expand it.
I'm saving my comments for a minute here.
Yeah, I got you. So I think it would be at least with the 8-team playoff. I don't know. I think it's better than a 4-team.
You're still going to have 9 and 10.
Yeah,
it's
but
not like you're escaping.
Yeah, what do you do? Open it up to the top 25? That's just not going to happen.
I know I was never opposed to the bowl game system, but
yeah, it's
not
crazy.
back now.
And at the TCU Kansas game, TCU is actually losing pretty big, and this Duggan kid just put his team on his back and fought and clawed. Like at one point, like they basically had to help him to the sideline. He was just getting beat to death, man, and he would just go right back out there the next series.
That kid showed a lot of heart and leadership on them drives that he did. Yeah. But it's beyond me. It's beyond me why Kansas State did not have somebody, a spy on him, following him. I mean, I was just like, what are you guys doing on defense here? This is ridiculous, But that kid showed a lot of heart, and wow, very impressive.
Yeah, it was crazy. What about what do you think about Utah and USC, man? Like Utah beat the breaks off of USC, number 4 in the country.
Yeah, the Utes.
Yeah.
Utah they were top 10, I think, when the season started.
Yeah, they're solid. They were pretty consistent.
Yeah, it was that was a great game.
Didn't see that coming.
Yeah, the top 2 of the top 4 teams lost, which is huge for this weekend. But I will have you know, I don't recommend gambling, kids, but I put a few bucks on a 3-game parlay for the games yesterday. I hit all 3. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa!
Very well done.
It was only $5, but it paid $40. So
hey, that's dinner.
You are buying the donuts. You buy the donuts.
Well, if you were closer to Tennessee, I'll buy you a donut.
Yeah, we got a little short stay in Illinois for now, but we'll be heading to Texas.
Yeah, heck with that winter up there. All right.
Yeah, it was 19 degrees this morning.
So a couple of weeks ago, we decided to do a segment called Paulie's Rant. Scott had a better name for it, but we'll see what we can do. So without further ado.
Alabama, I'm sorry, guys. You know what I got? I got a rant about Alabama fans. You know what, people? Get rid of your stupid minds on Facebook and have some damn class. Good morning, everybody out there. This is Paulie So I hope you had your muffin and I hope you had your coffee because it's time to break out the popcorn. And I'm going to tell you guys, for a Sunday morning at 9 o'clock Central Time, I'm pretty spooled up today. Just today, though. This is. Let me just start with the subject is the college football playoff process. The process. And I'm going to say it. This college football playoff process is ridiculous. It's horrible. And I'm going to say this. This is why college football is such a horrible sport. All right? Yes, I said it. All right? Great games on TV and all that. But behind the scenes, college football is an absolute tragedy. And this is why. The games are not decided on the field, apparently. Apparently, it's a bunch of old men in a hotel room sitting around full, on full per diem, VIP treatment, sitting in a conference room at some hotel, and they're deciding who are the 4 teams that get into college football playoff. So I guess the regular season doesn't mean jack squat, does it? I just don't get it. The only thing that matters, it seems like, is what do you do against the rankings? It's not a sport, guys, all right? I play sports my whole life. I play a game. You know who the winner is. You know who goes to the championship game. It's very simple. This is a perception. This is not a sport. It's what college football committee thinks is a good idea. This is ridiculous. So winning on the field is a sport. Sitting in a hotel room, eating bonbons and filet mignon steaks at night and getting full per diem and flying in on your corporate jets, that's not sports. That's a bureaucracy. And your bureaucracy stinks. College football committee, your bureaucracy stinks. It's awful, awful, awful. In almost all sports, you have a clear path to the playoffs. Literally. It's spelled out, right? I mean, then in this sport, you only get based off of position, like where you're ranked. Bama can get in. You know why? Well, because Bama, that's a good thing for the TV networks. Bama, 2 losses, right? I don't get it. It's so sad that this is a version of football that's out there. That sports committee that decides this is decided by a bunch of old men sitting in a conference room. Like I said, I am just beyond myself. The process is terrible. It's not fair to some of these schools that deservingly need to be in there, but they won't be because these old dudes sitting in that conference room are going to decide for them. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. College football committee, terrible. Let the teams get in by winning on the field, all right? And their rankings, all right? Let's not have somebody just sit around and just say, well, I like this team. I like Bama. Oh, I'm a Saban guy. Or I'm a TCU person. No, it's a bunch of malarkey. You know what? And if there was a book on this process, this is what I'm going to do to that book. I'm ripping it up. I'm ripping it up. I'm ripping it up. Yeah. I'm ripping it up. And you know what? I'm going to eat this stuff. I'm done.
I think that was your best one yet, Paulie.
Hey, you look like Nancy Pelosi.
Where'd you get the props from? Man, I didn't know we had the props.
Hey, man.
Thank you for listening. All right, I'm calming down.
Do your
Woosah.
I hope your wife's at home, man. She's a trauma nurse or?
Yeah, she is, and she's at work right now, so I'm on my own. I'm on my own.
Almost popped a blood vessel there. I thought your wife was staying there on standby.
I had enough, guys. I had enough.
Yeah, I think everybody feels that way. Well, not so angrily, but yeah, they definitely need to work on that process.
I wasn't angry. I was just making a point.
The point was that the clear path. In every other sport, there's a clear path. you know, you could sit there and say, if we win this game, we're in. If we lose this game, we're out. But not so much in college. Before we get off of college football, Carolina did lose last night to Clemson as well. Make sure we touch
Your
on
wife says call 911.
All right. Well, here, I'll wait till I get off the show here. I'll call. What am I calling 911 for?
Because you're a pop a blood vessel or something.
Hell, I'm going to go work out in the basement after this. What are you talking about? I'm ready. I'm ready
Gonna
for
run
the
right through
Bears.
the wall too. He's not gonna
And while
take
I'm
the
on
stairs.
it, hey, the Bears play the Packers today, and Rodgers.
Yeah.
I hope it's his last time we see him. But I want to say one thing about the fans. You fans out there that are hoping that Aaron Rodgers gets laid out and hurt on the field, you should be ashamed of yourselves. You know what? I want to see him throw 20 interceptions out there, and I want us to beat the Packers, but I do not advocate for a player to be laid out on the field and hurt. So shame on those fans for saying that kind of stuff.
Damn.
And
he's all fired up today.
Here
no.
we go with the second rant again.
No. I only get one. I get one rant per show. I get one rant per show. Hey, you know what? Rodgers has had the Bears 23-5 over his career. He's got our number. And yes, he owns us, guys. He owns the Bears. But you know what? Let's get him today. Let's have a good game, and we'll just take a victory. Hopefully, we can end it. There we go.
You know what week it? You know what week it is?
Yeah. Hey, go Navy, baby. Go Navy.
Hey, I want to talk before we already been on for a half hour, but before we hang up, I want to hit the NBA a little bit. A former Michigan Wolverine caught on fire the other day against the Chicago Bulls.
He is trying to be the next thing, man.
He's already hit one. That's where you've had DeMichael playing with DiVincenzo. The Warriors are turning it over, except Poole gets it back. Feet set and drops in another three. Vincenzo, they cycle it to Clay. He's already got 8 in the quarter. Better pass to Jordan. And he's got 3. Poole has had the hot hand. That's what we've got to say all year. That skip pass somehow got to Poole. Shot clock at 2. And he scores from one of the 4. Chicago's game tonight, you can tell. Got a lot of stoppages, not a lot of rhythm. Draymond and Jordan beautifully done. Split action becomes a full baseline. They setting up Poole. And Jordan's 3-point shooting tonight.
He dropped 30 points in like 23 minutes.
Wow.
Step back 3. It's been all Poole.
He just caught fire. Like nothing could stop him.
Inside the logo, we made it. Nothing going on this possession.
Well, this is what he has been watching for the last couple of years.
Just rises up after sizing him up. We've seen that celebration. 14 isn't enough. I mean, you have 1 3 or 4 minute close stretch, but Poole's going to make sure there's no cold stretch.
Hi, this was formerly the video known as 12 Tips in Audacity in 10 minutes. I got
Copyright.
We had a surprise guest.
Yeah.
He started last night too. After that,
Get him some swag, Fleek. Get him some swag.
Yeah. The other video started rolling right after that one ended. Usually I extract them and play them solo, but
Did you see your phone, bro? I sent you a text message.
What's that?
I sent you a text. I sent the pics to you during your email.
Yeah. Where we at with the picks?
Well, let me. I forgot to bring him up. So
it was my fault. That was late.
Paulie, continue to rant.
Well, you know what? I also got something else on Antonio Brown.
Didn't take much.
Antonio Brown.
you got triggered early.
Well, it's what's
early and often.
Yeah, so Antonio Brown. I'm going to preface this with, I feel bad for him. He's got some serious emotional conflicts going on, and I get that, But this guy is over the top. In South Tampa the other day, the police were called to his house, and apparently he threw a shoe at a lady that was there. She called the police. The police show up. They know Antonio Brown's got guns in the house. They ask him to come out. He never leaves the house. And then they say, hey, we want her to come in and get her belongings. She lives there. And he goes, she doesn't live here. Well, she's on her home address is Antonio Brown's address. I mean, and then he rips his shirt off on the field, walks away, leaves on Tampa last year. I mean, this guy, I hope he gets some help. He's a threat to himself and possibly to others, I believe. So Antonio Brown, we're praying for you. But you know what? Leave Tom Brady's ex-wife alone. Stop sending Tom Brady pictures of you and her. You know, you're just
that's bizarre.
He needs some help. I'm sorry.
What he's doing is he's taking photos of naked women and photoshopping Tom Brady's head on top of them and posted them on social media. Like, this dude is he's literally has lost it.
He needs some help, and
definitely needs help.
I pray that he gets the help, and I hope he doesn't do anything to anybody else or himself before he gets the help.
Yes. So I'm looking at these picks now. Thank you very much for filling more space in with your little rants. It looks like everybody picked the Buffalo Bills.
I think for the first time ever, we all picked the Lions.
Everybody picked the Lions.
The Lions are favored today.
Is that the first time ever too?
Everybody's picked. Look, everything's like almost exact except for me and Paulie. We picked the Bears over the. I think that's just out of spite for me.
Chiefs,
I think
Bengals,
Green Bay's probably going to win that game, but just out of spite, I want Green Bay to lose.
I want Chicago to lose. The only reason I want Chicago to lose is for that draft pick. You know.
Yes.
That draft order.
Yeah.
I agree.
Or no, I want Chicago to win. I'm sorry.
No. You want him to lose.
No,
you got it right.
No.
Everybody picked Cleveland Browns.
Paulie, you picked the Raiders. Come on, man.
Man, look at this.
Yeah, that was rough.
Everybody picked the Vikings and the Cowboys.
Well, I can't see the screen that well.
Everybody picked the Ravens.
What are the rankings?
You actually took first back by 1 point.
Well, there you go.
I'm in second, and everybody else is tied with the same.
All right. Well, I recommend picking Bears and Pittsburgh every weekend.
I don't. I feel like your score would be a lot higher if you didn't pick them, but I don't know. I mean, hey, I'm no expert.
So this kid, like, I want everybody to watch the Detroit Lions today, not because I'm a Lions homer, but this kid that's going to start today for the first time, they're saying he's faster than Tyreek Hill. Like, this kid's just got some wheels.
Well, that's fast.
Yeah. Yeah. This kid is I really hope that this kid just goes out there and just blazes around people, man. I am super excited for this game.
I saw something the other day that he's only been like full at practice for 3 days, and he's just like been wowing everybody with those 3 days that he's been practicing. So
should be interesting.
Yeah, I don't want to get my hopes up too high, but
yeah.
Well, I'm rooting for you, Lion folks, because you guys have never won a Super Bowl, and I hope the best for you guys. And I think Coach Campbell's got you guys going in the right direction.
I got a sound bite for that.
I don't think I heard it. Yeah.
Detroit, man, this is the Super Bowl. This is not Detroit, man. This is the Super Bowl.
That's awesome. So not only have we never won a Super Bowl, in the 57 years that the NFL has been around, the Detroit Lions have one playoff victory in that 57 years. That was in 1991.
Yeah, come on, let's go, Detroit. You could do it.
Yeah, I think Dan Campbell, he makes a lot of bonehead coaching decisions, but I believe that he's got these guys on the right path. I'll say that the record's not showing it this year, but they've been in pretty much every single game. They almost beat the Buffalo Bills, which everybody has the Buffalo Bills winning the Super Bowl. They almost beat the Philadelphia Eagles the very first game. Just a couple bonehead mistakes.
The Vikings.
Hey, if Goff doesn't get sacked in the end zone, they win Thanksgiving Day. So they're there. They just have to make that next step. But unfortunately, it feels like I say that every year when they're rebuilding. So
hey, I can relate.
Yeah. So I think great things on the horizon. So before we wind off, I just remind everybody, season tickets for the Detroit Lions next year are in the bag. We're going to be sending veterans and first responders to the games. As soon as the schedule is released, which will, we're months away, and I actually have the tickets in hand. The first call I'm going to make is to the Dearborn Police Department and ask to talk to the chief of police. And I'm going to give the Chicago Police, or Chicago, I got Chicago on the brain, Dearborn Police Department some of these tickets, probably fire department also. But yeah, got exciting things coming through. I dropped the Patreon link in the show chat. We appreciate all your help, and let's do this. The Nosebleeds Report. There you go, buddy. Big game next Saturday, Army-Navy game. It's literally the only football game that plays that weekend out of respect for the players that are on the field. Like I said last week, the seniors, they go off and fight wars. They don't have aspirations to play in the NFL. They're out there protecting our shores and our borders. So my hats are always off to them. And it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool game. At the end of the game, they both line up in the student section and sing each other's alma mater. It's a very, I mean, I tear up every year watching that. It's some good stuff. So
yes, sir. Gold Navy.
We have a couple more comments before we sign off. Francine, so awesome. Thank you, Richard Flake, and all the NBR for all you do. Yes, it's definitely our honor. And Scott says, "Go Navy." Don't tell my Army Colonel uncle. I'm rooting for them.
We'll keep it a secret, Scott.
Yeah, we won't tell anybody.
Mum's the word.
All right, so next Sunday we will talk about the Army-Navy game in full and what goes on. This should be a good game. And go Michigan. I'm not a Michigan fan, but they represent my home state, so I'll be pulling for them. Although my prediction is, and we have plenty of time for predictions because the game's not until January, but my prediction is Georgia wins back-to-back. So.
And I just want to say that little boy of yours, John, is a good-looking young man there.
Well, I appreciate it.
That's
it all from me.
One proud papa.
We got a comment here. Cutest little podcaster.
You hear that?
Yes, go Navy. So we'll see you guys next Sunday. If you can, look at our links down there. Help a veteran or first responder go to a football game. Man, we appreciate you. Much love. Next Sunday, fellas.